What is going on, guys? DBG here, and in this video we are going to be doing another tier list, and it is going to be a tier list of the best budget cards in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. So it's kind of hard to define what budget card is in general, so we are going to say anything under 15,000 MT. So if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We upload more MyTEAM content than anywhere else. We're trying to hit 225,000 subscribers by the end of the weekend. Right now we are 110 away. So we are really close to hitting our goal, which will be absolutely insane. Like we hit like 222,000 at Christmas, and the fact that with the way 2K is going, hitting 3,000 subscribers in a month will be crazy. So yeah. Anyway, if you guys are new, subscribe. We upload budget content, top tier content, mid tier. Basically, if you are playing the game of MyTEAM and you want to learn a little bit more about the mode, unless you are one of the top 100 players in the world wanting to learn how to be the most competitive global champion and play this game 15 hours a day, this is the place to be. If you are someone who's looking to be the best player in the world, if you're looking to be that good and you're willing to put in the 8 hours a day it takes, go to the Tight Ebo channel. The perfect place to go for that type of content. But anyway, yeah. So we are going to be talking about budget players here, and these are guys 15k and under. Most of them are going to be under 10k MT, and they're going to be for different styles of play. Obviously, there are two gens, and there are certain cards that I'm telling you right now, with the way next gen plays, are really good. And I'm going to have to talk about both gens because I'm not making two separate lists. But I'm going to put more weight on current gen, because I know for a fact more than 50% of people watch our current gen. But I have to take into account next gen as well, because I know it's the same game mode. There are people that are going to be playing on different gens. From 2K22 onwards, we probably will be only looking at next gen. But for now, there are people playing on both gens, so I will always be talking about both gens. So first of all, we got Andrea Bernardi. Andrea Bernardi, way better on next gen than he is on current gen. Or sorry, way better on current gen than he is on next gen. So his speed's about 66. I'm going to put him in B tier, because as far as like budget center, actually no, he's A tier. As far as budget centers go, you can't get much better. There are better ones, but you can't get too much better. His speed he's slow, but it's not too slow to make him unusable. However, he's not somebody that can deal in any way on either gen with like an Anthony Davis or a Blake Griffin with range or a Chris Webber with range. So there are a few top tier centers that he just can't deal with, because there was a stage for about, like, he came out in the middle of October. There was a stage for about a month where he legitimately could compete with the best of the best. He can't really anymore, but as far as budget centers go, center is the one position I believe there is so much of a difference between the like 600-700k centers and even the 100k centers. There are so big a gap between the top maybe 7 or 8 centers in the game and the rest. So Bargnani, A tier, but again, he will really struggle against the best of the best. Iguodala, I mean, he's borderline worthless. He's got a decent release, really good on defense, really good defensive animations, but that's all he's got. That's really all he's got. That's like a 60-something 3 ball. Can't shoot it, so he's going there. AK-47. I mean, I do like AK. I just realized, do I have X-Man in here? Yeah, I have Xavier McDaniel in here. I do like AK. I love base 29. I'm saying that right now. Like, on current gen, it's a very close one between 98 and 29 for AK. But on next gen, it's not even close. This AK's release is way better on next gen than AK's Diamonds release. I'm putting him in B tier. I don't think he does he belong? His defense is he's so good on next gen that I'm going to put him in A tier. Like, he's still usable. Like, current gen, if he had more hot zones on current gen, he'd be great. He's only got one hot zone. I'm not sure if it's the left or right corner, but he's got one hot zone in one corner. And for that reason, he does kind of struggle shooting the ball in current gen unless you're greening. But his defense is top tier. His speed is pretty decent. No, let's go B tier. Andrew Bogut. He serves a purpose on next gen. He's a good roll man and lob catcher. Can't lie. He's a good lob catcher, but I mean, he's big, rebounds well, and has really good interior defense, but let's go E tier. He's not really up to much. He's awful on current gen. He's absolutely awful. He's borderline unusable. But I mean, you can serve, like, he fits a purpose on next gen. But I mean, at the same time, kind of everyone fits a purpose. Like, I've been running with freaking Ruby Dikembe Mutombo as my center. And then I've been running with Emerald Shaq on next gen, like, because he sets big screens. Like, next gen's just such a completely different game. That I'm legitimately running with Emerald Shaq because he's got, like, Bronze Lob City Finisher. Or he's got a Lob City Finisher badge, as well as just being the biggest screen setter in the game. And I just literally run high pick and rolls and either lob or shoot a 3 against most people. So, yeah, Bogut, good next gen, awful current gen, E tier. Wiggins, he's a tier below AK. He's a tier below AK. He's fast. He shoots the ball kind of well. He's got a lot of things going for him. He also is a seriously flawed card. Like, he's not the greatest card in the world. He's major flaws, but he's still pretty decent for a budget. Like, bronze clamps, doesn't get blown by and is fast. Bailey Howell, I think he's 1 tier below AK. And it's mad. He came out, like, he was 15k in, like, week 2. He was so good. I still rate him. I still think he's a usable player. Especially on next gen. Like, if you know a player's release, you can hit with basically anybody. The guy's got Trey Burke base. And also pretty nice dribble 6. If you guys have seen me with freaking Tony Roten greening everything, like, Bailey has a better shooter than Tony Roten. And he's so nice on next gen. Also, current gen, he will hit occasionally. He's got a really nice release if you're good with it. He's just a little bit slow. He's got, like, Hall of Fame post-spin technician, which if you want to go to that, it's alright. But, yeah, pretty decent card. Ben Wallace. Oh, my hatred of this card knows no bounds. I hate it. Like, it's a meme. I'm putting him worthless. But, I mean, he's a moderately good lob catcher on next gen. I can get away with using him on next gen. But at the same time, I've been getting away with running, like, against some of the best teams in the game. I've only been losing by, like, I've been winning some games against all pink diamond and diamond squads, running Matt Thomas silver as my 2 guard. Like, next gen's a weird game. It's back to, like, 2K15 to 2K17 where you can actually run, like, silver cards and compete against most people. Like, it is, I love next gen. I absolutely love it. Even if they patch the fades. I don't care. I still love the way next gen is. That bad players can actually hit a shot. But, yeah, so Ben Wallace, he's kind of usable next gen. Absolutely worthless on current gen. He's also 3 inches smaller than Andrew Bogut, so Bogut at least can block some more shots. Ben Wallace, garbage man, worthless. Bingo Smith, I mean, badged up Bingo is probably A tier. Non-badged up Bingo is B tier. Bingo's better again. LeBron release, which is great in next gen, awful current gen. Because we're talking budget, I'm not going to talk about badged up Bingo, but badged up Bingo would be definitely this tier. Non-badged up Bingo, B tier. Bismack Biyombo, I mean, he's basically Ben Wallace, isn't he? He's basically Ben Wallace. Another elite lob catcher and rebounder. He rebounds, just like 2K16, he rebounds really well. I used to hate playing this guy in 16 because, again, it was before people were able to 5 out. Well, not people were able to 5 out, before people realized about 5 out. And people used to just get every board with this guy. Was great in that 16 game. Not it really in 2K20. So, yeah, we got Bismack Biyombo right here in worthless. Bobby Jones. I mean, he's got kind of a broken release. I mean, but he's really good on defense. I mean, he's better than Ben Wallace. Like, I'll be interested to see. I'm not sure if he can catch, like, if he really brings anything. I'm not entirely sure because his release is awful, by the way. It's, like, absolutely awful. Oh, he's got good length though, good defense. It's a tough one. I'm going to put him, because of his defense, I'm going to put him in E tier. He's a much better defender than either of these guys. Bowl, worst Kristaps Porzingis. D or C. He's mobile, I guess, so C tier. He's got a few things going for him, so he's going into C tier right here. Then we have got Boris Diaw. So Boris Diaw is going 1 tier above Bailey Howell. Badged up actually no, Boris Diaw is going C tier. Badged up Diaw is A tier. Badged up Diaw is still usable. I still occasionally use Boris Diaw badged up on my main account, and he does a job. Like, he does a job. He's obviously, in my opinion, not as good as Bobby Jones. And it's I either run Bobby Jones or I run Boris Diaw. And I normally would choose to use Bobby Jones Pink Diamond, but Diaw still does a job. And for you guys wondering why there's a big gap there is a big gap between these 3 cards here and these 3 cards here. There's a big gap. And we got Bowen. I love Bruce Bowen both gens. Like, I am so... The way I play the game, like, if you need your small forward to do anything other than spot up on the 3-point line and hit wide open threes and play elite defense, you know what? Bruce Bowen, you're going A tier. If you need your small forward to do anything other than that, then Bruce Bowen is not the guy for you. Bruce Bowen has got a money release. Base 40. He's got hot zones 4 spots outside of 3, which means he can hit on current and next gen with an 88 shot 3 gold catch and shoot and goal corner specialist. I play 21 delay on both gens, which means my players don't spot up from range extender, so the only position I need range extender on is my point guard. I guess it helps having range extender on their players. The only position I need it on is my point guard. And Bruce Bowen is one of the best defensive wings in the game. Still, 96 lateral quickness, pretty decent speed. If you play full court press and try to bait lanes, he's not going to be that for you. His speed's too low to play in a full court press. But if you play in the half court, whether that's man or zone, Bruce Bowen can guard the other team's primary ball handler because of his lateral quickness. And depending on your playstyle, he either is one of the best still budget cards for your playstyle, or he's not going to be usable. If you play an ultra fast game or you play the Bucks 5 out or the Hawks 5 out, you are going to struggle with Bruce Bowen because he can't shoot from deep. If you play 21 delay, pick and roll offense, Bruce Bowen works perfectly for you. And that is the offense I'm having the most success with right now. And Bruce Bowen, anytime I put him on the floor, he's cash. He hits shots, plays elite defense. Can't ask for more. Buddy Hield. I mean, because I'm putting more weight in current gen, Buddy Hield's going D tier. If I was talking about next gen, Buddy would be like here. But yeah, Buddy's got Kobe base, which is unbelievable on next gen. Pretty decent current gen. Can't lie, Buddy Hield or Kobe base is alright current gen. He's got, I think he's got silver range. Just an all-around decent player. He's like a worse Eric Gordon. And for the price he's going for, not too bad. And he's also got gold flexible as far as I'm aware, so that does help. Buddy Hield, not a bad card. And was one of my favorite cards when I first started playing on next gen. Parsons. Not the biggest fan of his release. He is still a 6'10 shooter though. Yeah. Doesn't play, yes he has range, but he doesn't play defense like a Bailey Howell or Boris Diaw. And for me, it's more important being able to play defense at that power forward position than have range extender, because I don't run many pick and pops to the power forward. So yeah, Parsons, D tier. Chris Paul. I mean, he's one of the best. He's one of the better budget point guards in the game. He's going B tier. His handle's good. His jumper's good. Only problem is no range. So you definitely need to pair him up with a deep shooter. So like you maybe even like a Nick Anderson beside him, but you need, actually Nick Anderson can't create. He can't be your main creator basically. No range extender on a point guard that can't dunk the ball, you're going to struggle. Like someone like a Tony Roten, you can normally use him to create because he just dunks on everybody. And even still, I struggle with Tony Roten unless I surround with range extender players. So, and I kind of struggle using him as a primary ball handler. If you guys watched my gameplay yesterday on my Nobody Spend squad, like Tony Roten plays defense, slashes to the basket a little bit, and hits wide open threes. So if you're playing him as a secondary ball handler, he's good because he plays good defense. But yeah, CP3 is only B tier. For this CP3, S tier. S tier, no question about it. One of the best budget cards in the game still. Imagine Ty Lawson. That's it. Just imagine Ty Lawson. They're the same card. You're not going to... Yes, Ty Lawson's half badges. But you're not going to notice any difference. So, Cliff Hagen. I'm putting Cliff Hagen in A tier because of current gen. If we're talking about purely next gen, Cliff Hagen's S tier. Fading limitless threes. Like, fading Hall of Fame range extender. Like, the guy's the only budget half range extender player in the game. And he's not a bad card all around because he's slow, which is a bit of a problem. Even though his speed stats a lie. I do not believe that speed means, like, speed shows everything. Like, he's got 88 speed or something. And then there's guys with, like, 80 speed Or he's got, like, Wiggins feels fast. Cliff Hagen feels slow. Cliff Hagen's meant to be faster than Wiggins. I'm telling you, just maybe it's his running style. Maybe he just feels slow. He just feels slow and clunky. But he's still a good shooter. And for his price, with half range extender, you can't keep him off the top 2 tiers. But if we're talking next gen, S tier, and it's not even, no debate. D'Angelo Russell. Because this is a tough one, because I love D'Angelo Russell. But when you don't put clamps on D'Lo, it's hard to put him above C tier. Because again, clamps on D'Lo is going to cost you at least... I mean, is he still in the budget category with bronze clamps? He is, because I think bronze clamps gone down to like 10k. If you can get bronze clamps for 10k and all this for him 15k, he's either B or A. I'm going to put him A tier. I'm going to put D'Lo A tier. If you don't like his release, if you're not someone who uses Curry slide an awful lot to get free, because there are people like, I really need Curry slide, and me on next gen or on current gen, trust me, I need Curry slide. Like, if I'm not using a Curry slide point guard, I'm going to struggle. It's basically the only thing I can do to get free. Yeah, so D'Lo, he's got some nice dunk animations. He basically feels like the way he moves feels like a pro-am play shot. And that's kind of his badges, like gold range extender, a lot of decent half badges. Give him clamps. He does feel like pretty much like a play shot, and his player build is slender. So, A tier. Bertans. He's a step above Parsons. He's a step above Parsons. I think he's Parsons with a better release. Bertans is actually mobile. He is mobile enough. Like, if you want... Actually, no. If you want a pure spot-up deep shooting... I'm moving these guys up one. Changing these guys tiers. If you want a pure limitless range shooting mobile power forward, you can't get much better out of budget than Davis Bertans. I mean, for what he is, he's elite. He might get moved up a tier. Because, yes, he doesn't... I don't particularly like the card, but for what he does, he might be one of the best at what he does in the game. I just realized we have spent 17 minutes and we still got like 2/3 of the cards left. Then we got De'Aaron Fox badged up, S tier, non-badged up. Better. Chris Paul got down a tier. De'Aaron Fox is way better than Chris Paul. And also, bronze clamps, D'Angelo Russell is a lot better than De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox badged up. I'm still looking for a De'Aaron Fox badged up because he is so nice in my opinion. Although, Donovan Mitchell badged. I saw Donovan Mitchell fully badged up with a 3-point diamond shoe for like 15k. That's a purchase I might end up making because that card could be nice. But yeah, De'Aaron Fox, you can get him for like 4 or 5k. Really, really nice. Good player build. He's got that slender player build. He's going to feel like a kind of slashing point guard. You can shoot the 3-ball Paul George base, which I like. Some people hate Paul George base. If you hate it, that's fair enough. I love Paul George base. But non-badge, you got to badge him up. Non-badged up, he's B tier. Badged up, S tier. He's better than Chris Paul. Non-badged up, B tier. Because we are talking about budget, so you can't... If it's someone like D'Angelo Russell, where you just need a 10k badge to put him into A tier, that's fine. But you need... Realistically, you need range extender up to gold to make De'Aaron Fox an S tier player. Range extender bronze or silver, he's probably here. Range extender gold, he's without question there. We got Del Curry. You kind of need clamps on Del, but he's a good shooter. But without adding clamps to Del, is he any better than Buddy Hield? I'm going to say no. He's a really good shooter, that's about it. Dikembe Mutombo. Now this is a tricky one. I love him on next gen, don't like him on current gen. But he's the best at what he does for his price. If you want a big man to be a role guy and just be a big body in the post, he is the best at budget tier. Like, I can't objectively say Bargnani's better than him because they're so different players you can't even compare them. I use Mutombo a lot on my main account and I have so much success with the card. He catches lobs as well as anyone. He's got that elite player build. He's basically the Dikembe Mutombo Diamond. And if you like that Dikembe Mutombo Diamond card, you're going to love this Ruby card. And he's like 1/100th of the price. So, as much as, like, I was about to say as much as he doesn't suit my playstyle. Yes, he suits my playstyle. I only play the game on next gen. Like, I play the game maybe 3 or 4 times a week in current gen. For about a half an hour. So I play about 2 hours a week in current gen. The rest of the time I play next gen. And Dikembe Mutombo on next gen, I'm telling you, he's one of the best centers I've used because I just use role guys. Dino Raja. B. He's so fast. Both gens. His movement, his player build. It's hard to knock Dino Raja. He just can't shoot the 3 ball. Actually, on next gen, he kind of can because everyone can shoot it because of how good his release is. Donovan Mitchell. I mean, off rip, Donovan Mitchell is basically just De'Aaron Fox. But again, if you can get a range... Actually, you know what? I was about to say you have to have badges, but I bought a Donovan Mitchell for cheaper. For like I'm probably going to buy a Donovan Mitchell badged up. Or a De'Aaron Fox, whichever one I can find. But I'm going to have to put these two guys together. These guys will be synonymous with each other. They're very similar. Donovan Mitchell, smaller with longer wingspan. De'Aaron Fox, taller with a better release. Donovan Mitchell, better dunker. So, it's debatable. Like, you can argue either of these. They both need range extender, though, which costs quite a lot. Eddie Curry. I love Eddie Curry on next gen, but he's literally wherever Dino is, Eddie Curry is. Just like last year when people were comparing their opals, their pink diamonds. I mean, the Amethyst Eddie Curry versus Ruby Dino debate will forever go on in the eyes of the 3 people in this game that actually use either of these cards right now. But yeah, they're very, very similar. Eric Gordon, better, but he healed. C tier. It's just, on next gen, I don't like his release. I don't like his animations. On current gen, he can't guard anyone one-on-one, but he can play in a press because of speed. So, yeah. C tier. Freddie VanVleet. I can't not put him in S tier. Do I advise anyone to do him? No. Because you're not likely that Sean Marion's going to be a garbage man. And also, if you spend the time for Fred VanVleet on just playing like TTO, you would have enough MT for Chris Paul and Marco Fultz. And Fred VanVleet is just like Chris Paul, basically just another CP3. They're almost the same card. Gary Harris, I mean, he's Bruce Bowen with a worse release in my opinion, so B tier. And he's a little bit smaller as well. A lot of people would rate Gary Harris over Bruce Bowen because they're all recency bias, but I think I would take Bruce Bowen over Gary Harris 10 times out of 10. Gerald Wallace, S tier. No doubt about it. He's better Bruce Bowen. He's basically, imagine if Bruce Bowen had quick first step and really good speed. Really nice release. Plays lines really, really well. Shoots the ball really, really well, in my opinion. Great. Obviously base 4, which is really nice. And is an elite player on both gens as a 3-and-D guy. So he's like my perfect 2 guard. Glenn Big Baby Davis. Better Eddie Curry. He's one of the most underrated cards in this game. I'm sorry. Everyone talks about how Glenn Davis sucks. Yes, he came in a batch of cards where they were all gods except him. He's good. I'm sorry. Big Baby Davis is good. A good 3-point shooter, moderately fast, great release, decent hot zones, and a monster player build. I'm sorry. Maybe you can put him in B tier. He's no lower in B tier. As a center, I mean, he's in that conversation. Like, there's not many good budget centers, by the way. So he's better, in my opinion, than Eddie Curry and Dino Raja. He's very similar in level to a Bargnani. Like, they give you different things, but he's more of a mobile offensive center. Bargnani's a pick and pop center. Dikembe Mutombo's a pick and roll interior center. So they're all different, completely different. There's a 4th center I'll probably put into this tier that is a completely different center as well. But, like, as far as centers go, it's tough to get good cheap ones, and these guys are probably the best you can get. Hedo Turcaloo. I hate having to do this because next gen, Hedo Turcaloo is like A or S tier. He does one of these tiers on next gen. Even without the fadeaway. I have got his release down to a T. I love his release on next gen, but on current gen, he's no better than Chandler Parsons. Oh, this is a tough one. I'm putting him in B tier, and I hate having to do it because I love Hedo. But he's objectively B tier. Jimmy Butler. I mean, without any badges off rip, yeah, he's got like Curry slide. I don't like his release. He's got no hot zones. He's like, I don't think he's better than C tier. When you badge him up, give him range extender, give him a few decent badges. I'm telling you, Jimmy can do work. Jimmy can't do work, but without any badges, C tier. He's barely better than Andrew Wiggins. Although, they do make a pretty decent duo. John Starks. Is John Starks better than Chris Paul? I'm going to say no. Basically, he's got like silver range, clamps, and stuff. The problem is that he's got no quick first step. You really need quick first step on a point guard. Otherwise, you're not creating at all. Yes, he's got a decent dunk, but he's so difficult to get him into position to dunk without that badge. Badged up. If you get him a quick first step, he's pretty good. Doesn't have it, A tier. But again, if you can find him cheap for that price, he's probably better than CP3. Jonas Valanciunas, the free locker code card. I mean, B tier. He's not terrible. And again, we got to compare him to other budget centers. Like, we got a lot of good budget point guards. Obviously, we got these two guys, John Starks, D'Angelo Russell, which is why De'Aaron Fox unbadged and Mitchell unbadged are down here. And it's why Jonas Valanciunas, Dino Radja, Eddie Curry are here, because there's not that many great centers. What centers do we have left? We've got one S tier, two maybe S tier that I can see. Yeah, I might have to move some of these guys down. But either way, we're good for now. Jonathan Isaac, no-brainer, S tier. One of the best small or power forwards in the game, in my opinion. Jonathan Isaac belongs in that tier. I love the card. I still sometimes use him on my main account. Best Ruby in the game, and it's not even close. Although, if you are looking for one Ruby for unlimited, always pick Markelle Fultz. Klay Thompson. So, this card here, it's just a little bit too slow. He's a little bit too slow. He's still got silver clamps and silver range. He's just a little bit too slow to be in the like upper echelon of cards, but we're putting Klay in C tier. Klay's not bad. He is not bad. He's got a decent 3-ball, good silver badges. I like him. Jimmy does not belong in this tier. You go there. Okay, let me shake up this a little bit. Let's go with Eddie, Dino down. Are they better than Valanciunas though? You know what? Out of all these, the one I prefer is Dino. So Dino, you go up. Yeah, this looks better for now. Then we got other Klay. Right here. Yeah. I mean, actually, no, he's S. As far as budget guys go, if you can get Klay for a decent price, like sometimes he's over the 15k. If you can get him for under the 15k, you can't get much better as far as catch and shoot, wide open shooters go. I like him. Kristaps Porzingis. If we're talking next gen, he's fantastic because Brook Lopez base is unbelievable, but we're not talking about next gen, we're talking about current gen. Just like with Brook Lopez, personally, Brook Lopez is one of my favorite centers in the game on next gen. Don't like him on current gen at all. But Kristaps, because we're putting the weight in current gen, he's going B tier, although he would probably be A or S tier if we're talking about next gen. His release is iffy. Kyle Korver. Again, he's E tier. He's just too slow. Decent on next gen because he can kind of get away with lack of speed, but E tier. Kyrie Irving. I think he can create. He's like a worse D'Angelo Russell, but he's not as good. He's maybe better than Chris Paul. Like, that's a debate. Like, he's in the C tier. I don't think he's anywhere close even to a non-badge De'Aaron Fox or Donovan Mitchell. He's just too slow laterally. He doesn't play good enough defense. LaMelo Ball, getting to worthless. He is an absolute garbage man. That's the only way I can describe him. The guy is an absolute garbage man. So, yeah, he belongs here in worthless. Alfonso Ellis. I think he's almost overrated. He literally doesn't do anything well. Like, he's not as good as Dio. He's not as good as Bailey Howell. Like, he's so bang average at everything that a lot of people are like, oh yeah, you know what? He's actually a pretty decent card. I've used him. He doesn't do anything. At least sometimes, like, sometimes you'll hit like 4 or 5 shots in a row with a Bailey Howell and you'll be like, this guy is a god. Whereas Ellis just never does anything and doesn't have the potential to do anything. Larry Markkinen, slightly worse. Better shooting, but slightly worse. Andrea Bernardi. Elite shooter, gold range extender. Only problem is that you don't really need gold range extender on a center. And also, like, bronze range extender is good enough for picking pops. And also, he literally can't play defense. Got like a 40 block. He's literally worse, just worse Nicola Jokic. Lonzo Ball, you got to give him quick first step. Still elite on defense though, but without quick first step, he's not above B tier. I don't particularly like the card. Lou Dort, wherever Gary Harris is. They're basically the same card. So if you like Gary Harris, you'll like Lou Dort. It is personal preference. I think Gary Harris might be a bit taller. Lou Dort's got a longer wingspan, maybe a bit of a better defender in terms of his like defensive tendencies. But I'm also saying that Lou Dort was not as good as the Glenn Davis card. People are saying Glenn was the worst card that came out that day. Nah, Lou Dort. Glenn Davis, for budget guys, Glenn Davis fits a purpose. Then we got Fultz, no brainer, S tier. And he's way better than Chris Paul. Like, Markelle Fultz is he is closer to the John Stockton tier of point guards. Like, there's tiers in point guards. There's the top tier of point guards, which is like Dwayne Wade. I know he's a 2 guard, but still. The top tier of point guards is Dwayne Wade, Gary Payton, Oscar Robertson. The next tier of point guards is probably Walt Frazier, Derrick Rose, Baron Davis. And then the tier after that is like John Stockton and those guys. And I genuinely think that Fultz is closer to the John Stockton tier than he is to even the Darren Williams tier. He's somewhere in between those tiers. Like, he's one of the best. He's in the top like 40 cards in the game. S tier, no question about it, and he's cheap. Michael Carter Williams, A tier. You could debate him S tier. He's better Lonzo. He's Lonzo with a better release and go quick for a step. I like him. I do like him, but I think that there's literally a better. I think that there's a better 6'6 point guard that's cheaper, so he's going A tier. Michael Cooper. Cooper is... We still got quite a bit to go, and we are 30 minutes into this, so I might speed this up a bit. Cooper, I mean... A. I love his release. He doesn't really have the hot zones. He's a better Gary Harris than Lou Dort. Like, his release puts him above those guys. Yes, he's outdated. He's a little bit outdated right now because of just, well, how long it's been since the card came out. I still think he's usable. I still think you put him in the right hands, and he holds his own on the floor in most games. Is he good? No. But I mean, when we're talking about budget guys, you're looking a lot of the time at guys that can just hold their own, and he holds his own with his half clamps better than most people. Nick Anderson. I'm saying this right now, Nick Anderson is still S tier, and it'll be quite a while. Actually, no, it won't be quite a while. Like, we'll eventually get a Markelle Fultz type 2 guard. Like, Markelle Fultz after 2 is better than Nick Anderson after 2. But we'll get a Markelle Fultz type 2 guard. It's not long until we have 2 or 3 gold clamps, gold range extender, gold quick first step, or even just gold clamps, gold range extender, ruby cards. Even silver clamp, silver range extender with good speed is going to be up near the top. But bronze clamps, gold range, and Nick Anderson, great release. I still love the card. So he's staying in S tier for me. Nikhil, Alexander Walker. I mean, off rip, he's about 15k without any badges, and off rip, he's just not good. He is just not good whatsoever. Same with this dude here, Oscar Robertson. Like, his stats make him look alright. Does not come with any of the key badges. Like, there's a lot of key badges you need in this game. He does not come with any of them. He's kind of weak. He's a kind of weak card, can't lie. Okay, then we have got Pascal Siakam. Off rip, Siakam. I mean, badged up Siakam would be S, but off rip, I'm going to put him A tier as a small forward because of how much I like his release. I don't miss with the guy. If you like his release, like with all these like 3-and-D guys, that all their job is to do is just stand somewhere, hit a wide open shot, and play defense. It is literally about preference. Like, if you love Lou Dort's release and you hate Michael Cooper's release, choose Lou Dort. The 3 that I prefer to releases are Bruce Bowen, Siakam, and Cooper, which is why they're higher for me. Okay, Ewing. Ewing is that other center that is in here. Ewing is that interior center. He's got the post moves. He's a little bit slower, but he's got that post spin. He's got the post hook, the post fade, the post badges on Hall of Fame. He's got that half drop stepper. He's a big body. Ewing, one of the most underrated cards in this game to this day. 2,500 MT. You are basically getting 9th. He is as close to the Pink Diamond Ewing as this Ruby Mutombo is to the Diamond Mutombo. If you really enjoy playing in the post, and I know there are people that do I think it's the most effective way of playing the game? For me, no, because it's not something I practice. If you are someone, maybe you're a post scorer in Pro-Am. If you can dominate in the post with players, Ewing might be that guy. And for that price, if you really want the post scorer, Ewing's the best in the game for a budget, and he's 2.5k. So, yeah, A tier. PG. One of the most underrated cards in this game. Paul George B tier. Low B tier, but B tier. Bronze range extender, silver clamps, PG base. Some people hate it. I love it, by the way. Pro 5 behind the back. Not the greatest speed. I'll be the first to say that. Like, his speed is only in the mid-70s, but he's got really good lateral quickness, good length, good shooting, good badges, and he's 1000 MT. A lot of people sleeping on these guys. A lot of people have slept on... I will always say it. Paul George, in my opinion, was the best current card in the game. People are sleeping. Paul Silas doesn't shoot well enough, plays good defense. C tier. It's a weird one with Silas, because his defensive stats are awful. We saw every defensive badge basically in the game on gold. So he actually plays pretty good defense. He's another one of those people that prove the saying that badges mean way more than attributes, because his defensive attributes, I'm pretty sure, are all in the 70s. But he's got almost every defensive badge on gold, so he actually plays defense at elite level. It's a little bit like last year. Last year he had a somewhat decent card that could play... it had like Paul George base. His pink diamond spotlight sim card. He had every defensive badge Hall of Fame despite not having the greatest defensive stats. And he was a god. Rafe LaFrance, too slow to be usable right now. But as far as budget cards go, I mean, I like him as a shooter. I think he shoots the ball really well. He's just got 50 speed. And if you're on current gen, that's too slow to be usable. Next gen, he's alright. But like, there's no reason on next gen to use a Rafe LaFrance over, for example, a Larry Markkinen. There's no reason on that gen to use him. Richie Grant needs quick first step. C tier. Like, some people have a lot of success with the card, but in my opinion, he's like worse Lonzo Ball. Like, yeah, he does very similar things to Lonzo. Lonzo's just taller and they both need quick first steps, so he's going C tier. If you want to argue B tier, that's fine. But even if you have success with him, I do not think he's as good as any of these guys in A tier. Or on the guard position. Rubio. This is a weird one. This is like one of the few cards that is awful on next gen, but good on current gen. You gotta badge him up though. Rubio non-badged up is no better than Richie Grant. You gotta badge him up. But his release on current gen is so nice. His release on next gen, there's some weird hitch in the jump shot. It is awful. Kenny Smith jumper on next gen is awful. So he's going into C tier. If you want to put him in B tier, if you like his... if you like him, want to put him in B tier, that's fine. He's no higher than B or C. I can't put him ahead of Richie Grant, because I think Grant better. Ryan Anderson, one tier below wherever Bertans is. Yeah, Ryan Anderson belongs in that Chandler Parsons. All he does is shoot the ball. Although he does shoot the ball definitely, in my opinion, even better than Bertans. He's just a slower Bertans. Serge Ibaka. Serge Ibaka. I mean, he's the second best big man on this entire list. So Serge Ibaka, S tier. I think his release is one of the better in the game. I think he moves well, he rebounds really well, he blocks shots really well, and he hits jumpers. So, for what I need, really great card. S tier. Also catches lobs well. Sean Kemp, no-brainer, S tier. The biggest no-brainer on this entire list, apart from Markelle Fultz. The best three cards in this list are Markelle Fultz, Jonathan Isaac, and Sean Kemp. Sean Kemp for 3.5k might be the best value card in my team right now. And not might be, he is the best value card in my team right now. Like, even a CP3 at 3k, nah, Kemp's better. Kemp's movement is ridiculous. He can move with the ball, he can move without the ball. He's got a good ball handle, dunks on everybody, catches lobs, moderately good rebounder, moderately good defender, and is fast. Kemp, no doubt about it, as far as budget cards go, is S tier. Sidney Moncrief, I mean, he's got half clamps and base 28. He's like a 6'4" Michael Cooper. Comes with no shooting badges though. B tier. He's a 6'4" worse shooting Michael Cooper. Like, yeah, he can handle the ball better and moves the ball better, but who the hell is using Sidney Moncrief to initiate an offense? He's B tier. Butler, E tier. Taco, wherever you are, D tier. Taco's better than Sim. Saying this right now, like, you can cheese a lot more with Taco than you can with Sim Vular. Taco's got a better player build, longer wingspan. So Taco, you're going D tier. You are going into D tier. Both of these guys are just 7'5" giants that can just kind of cheese people post hooks. Doesn't work on current gen, but next gen they can be kind of usable. Sleepy Floyd. Yes, he can get basically every badge in the game. No badge is Sleepy Floyd. He's no badge of Sleepy Floyd's worse than no badge Ricky Rubio, so no badge Sleepy Floyd D tier. No, badged up Sleepy Floyd's probably B tier, but his badges cost quite a lot. Steph Curry's. Both of them here. Trey Young, same tier as Steph Curry. Decent offensive players are non-existent on defense, although all three of them are usable on next gen. All three of them are good on next gen. It's just when we're talking about current gen, are they as good as Kyrie Irving? I don't think so. I don't think they're quite as good as Amethyst Kyrie, but next gen, they're all usable because it's an offensive game on next gen. Steve Francis. This is a tough one. I don't know if Steve Francis is A or B tier. I think actually non-badged up Steve Francis, because go quick first step is cheap. He's got silver quick first step. Just give him go quick first step. Dunks on everybody. Has Curry slide. Shoots the ball well with his bronze range and go release. Yeah, because you can still get a bronze. You can still get a go quick first step. Steve Francis for quite cheap. So he's A tier. He's like a worse version D'Angelo Russell, but he's like a worse shooting D'Angelo Russell, a better dunker. So yeah, I'm gonna give him A tier. I'll give Steve Francis A tier. Thon Maker, 1 tier above wherever Bowl is. B tier. Next gen Thon Maker A tier. Current gen Thon Maker B tier. He gets kind of eaten alive on current gen. He doesn't really get boards as well as he does on next gen. His strength, he gets super speed on next gen as well. His strengths kind of don't work, like don't bode too well for next gen. For current gen, but he's great next gen. Iguodala, I mean, he catches lobs. I love him for domination, but is Iguodala objectively better than Silas? Probably not. Bertans is a close one because like Iguodala runs the floor better. If you're someone who plays in the full court press, needs showtime, dunks it on everybody, Iguodala is better than Bertans. Like you could argue Iguodala here, but for me, the way I play Iguodala C tier. Although I do use him to catch a lot of lobs. Tony Parker, I mean, he's got 97 speed. That's his only redeemable quality. I mean, is he even better than Steph Curry? Like he's a mid-range specialist basically. Can't dunk it. Like the only thing he can really do is shoot mid-range shots. He is a mid-range specialist. He is a slightly upgraded freaking Gus Williams. Tony Roten, S. Better Michael Carter Williams. I love Tony Roten. Like, have I used Tony Roten on current gen? No. But I can guarantee you with the speed glitch, the way he dunks the ball, he's going to be even better on current gen. Maybe he's better as a 2-guard on current gen. He's got Trey Burke base, but on next gen, if you guys have been watching me play, he's my starting point guard for my main squad. The fact that I've got Rudy Fernandez and Paul George on the floor with him, and you can just see it. Like, he had 12 points, 4 of 4 from 3 against me the last time, or for me the last game I played. Tony Roten's dunking, his ability to slash the basket, his defense, S tier in my opinion. Ty Lawson. Imagine CP3. That's it. He's Chris Paul. He's Chris Paul and Fred VanVleet. Basically, they're all the same card. Yeah, Ty Lawson looks better. You're not going to notice the difference. He's a 5'11", unbelievable stat player. Hero. C tier. He's like Eric Gordon. Badged up Hero is really good though. 14 not badged up Heroes, only okay. X-Man. I think I'm going to have to move a few down from S tier. You know what? I'm going to give... In terms of value, obviously, CP3 is the best value of all of these guys, but I think Ty Lawson is a bit better than CP3. So I'm going to move CP3 and Fred VanVleet down and leave Fultz, Ty, and Roten as my 3-point guards in S tier. Because Xavier McDaniel is no doubt about it S tier. As far as budget cards go, the guy can play the 3, the guy can play the 4 at an elite level. He belongs in this top tier with the top players in the game, top budget players in the game. And then Wesley Matthews. How have more people not been talking about this card? He can play elite defense. He can shoot the ball really, really well. His release is fantastic. Like, the guy's got a 91 3-ball gold clamps, bronze upgradable range, base 38, profile behind the back, hot zones everywhere outside the 3. Like, and he's free. And he's not that difficult to get. Because he's very easy to get. And you will all get him at some stage. I think bronze range puts him at A tier, but man, he's close to being S tier. So anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. This is the budget tier list in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM, in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. And obviously, a lot of you guys are going to disagree with that, but that is perfectly fine. This is my opinion. I do play a lot more next gen than current gen, so maybe if I only played with a card once or twice on current gen and I didn't like them, maybe I just haven't used them enough. So yeah, that is pretty much it. That's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.